Hello, everyone. Welcome to March. Nice to get spring started in the picture here. I hope you're enjoying everything now as we get into this month and kind of pushing towards the second half of the school year. This week or this month rather, we're going to take a look at a new feature in Google Classroom. You might have seen it pop up already as you're creating your assignments, but they just added within the last couple weeks a feature to use rubrics built right in the classroom, so you can assess students on the fly as part of the assignment process. So whether or not you've already had a chance to play with it, I want to give a demo of what that looks like today to get it set up and to get it working. If you're new to Google Classroom or haven't really taken advantage of all its functionality, definitely book a training so we can cover that process with you, so we can get you up and running. Or if you just are using it already but want to see some more of the possibilities such as rubrics, let's spend some time together and get this going as well. So the first thing I want to show you is basically the final result of what it looks like to have a rubric in here. So what you're seeing on my screen right now is an example assignment from the student perspective. So I have a writing prompt that's here, and it has a rubric that's already included on the assignment. So I can expand that, each of the topics that are important. I can see the different details that are needed, the point values associated. And then because it's a graded assignment, I can now see all the different grades that I have in place for it. So from the teacher's standpoint here, I have my demo class, and if I go into my classwork tab here, and I can see the list of assignments that I've done, this is how the rubric presents itself. And so again, you just pretty straightforward. We all know what rubrics can look like. It shows me all the details right as part of the assignment. And if I'm grading the details here, I can open up one of my students' works and it presents the rubric on the right-hand side as you're working with the student document. And so all you have to do to take advantage of using this is you just look at the different areas of focus here, click the appropriate score. If you need to remind yourself of the details that the rubric has, you can expand that. You can see all those details right away here. And do your normal process of grading just by clicking the buttons on the rubric, returning it to the students, and then you're good to go. So let's take a look on how to create a rubric from scratch here. So if I'm on my main class, I'm going to go to the classwork page, and I'm going to go ahead and create an assignment. And so this screen for assignments has been updated recently. It's much cleaner to work with, I think. You give yourself a title for the assignment, give yourself the description, add any extra files that you might need to, and basically as soon as you give it a title, we now have this rubric button lit up on the corner. If I hit the plus button now, I have the chance to create a brand new one, and then as we'll see later, we have a chance to reuse or import one as well. So if I'm just starting out, I'm going to go ahead and create a rubric on the fly here. And basically, I'm going to fill out the criterion, any description that's needed, and then fill out the different elements that make up my rubric here. And so I have an example rubric over here that I've used in the past. That's a kind of a middle school based writing rubric, pretty standard and straightforward here. So if you already have one digitally, it makes it super easy because I'm just going to copy and paste and bring these things over. So the first category here is focus. And so I'm going to come over here, and my criterion is called focus. My first point value is 4, and I'm going to paste in the description in here, and this is what we call advanced. And then I'm going to hit the plus. Next one is 3 points here. This is proficient, and so I can type in proficient, put in the description, and then I'm just rinsing and repeating as we get down to these sections over here. And one of the things that they're going to make pretty straightforward for us is after we get our main content in here, basic. So I have my criterion, I have my levels here. I can actually come up to these triple dots and I can duplicate the criterion. And what it does is it keeps my point values, it keeps my level titles and everything. And so all I have to do now is just change the criteria that I'm looking for. So now I'm on my content side of things, and I'm just going to copy and paste these items over in here. So again, we just kind of rinse and repeat. I can duplicate the criterion. I can manage them in terms of their order, and I basically just finish building my rubric, and then I'm going to save once I'm done. And that's all I have to do to make a rubric and to get it started. Do it once, and then what we'll see in a minute here is that we can reuse this again and again in future assignments. So once a rubric is created, we can reuse it again in other classrooms or even other assignments going forward. So after I make an assignment and give it a title, and I go to my rubric button here, I have that option to create a brand new one if I wanted to, but I also have the option to reuse a rubric. And it gets excited to show me any rubrics that I've created already. I can just click on it, preview it if necessary, and be like, oh yeah, that's the one I want. I'll select that, and now that becomes part of this next assignment, so I can reuse it again and again and again. The other option I have is that I have the option to import a rubric. So if I'm going to import a rubric that I previously used, what I would want to do for that is choose a rubric that I've already made first, and if I open it up, get to see the details, of course, but I have this option to export to sheets. And basically what that does is Google takes it, exports it for you, and it has a special coding system that they use, so you don't want to make any changes to this. But it allows you to then share this rubric with other people or just have it saved in your drive for your own needs, so that when you're working with your assignments, you can actually come in here, and instead of creating a rubric from scratch, you can import it from Sheets this way. So for me, I would say if you've already created yours, you're going to reuse one that you've created already, or if you're borrowing from another person who's already done this process, have them export the rubric, share it with you, and you can import it from Sheets and then keep some consistency across your department that way. We know this is going to be a helpful feature for so many of us. Definitely enjoy the process of creating and reusing these. If you need additional assistance, book either a face-to-face training at your school. We'll come and work with you face-to-face, or we do offer remote sessions as well, so you can book a time for that. Enjoy the rest of March, and we'll see you soon.